Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Max Marie and today we are uncovering some relationship Reddit stories and doing my makeup. So grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into these Reddit stories together. Just a little disclaimer, I am feeling very sick in this video, so I'm sorry if A, I sound raspy, and B, I'm a little spaced out because I just have cold brain. Alright, our first story. Am I the a-hole for being upset my girlfriend wants to turn her location off on girls' night? We both made some mistakes early on in our relationship. She cheated and lied about it. I retaliated by doing the same, but we've moved past it as much as you can from such a thing. Also, I'm not saying I'm a victim here. I'm fully aware that I'm also the bad guy in this story. There was a period in time she wasn't sure if she was going to choose me or him, and it was a struggle to get through, but ultimately I held out. Now we're in a monogamous relationship, or so I thought. We've been location sharing during our entire relationship, but now all of a sudden she tells me she feels smothered. So she's been turning off her location periodically when going out. My argument is because of our rocky past with cheating, we should keep our locations on to be able to feel a sense of security. We had a whole knockout drag out fight about it. At this point, I'm basically prepared to die on this hill. I'm not saying she can't go out with her friends or have alone time, but I'd like to know where she's at. She sees this as an invasion of privacy suddenly when we've been location sharing for almost 6 months now. Am I the a-hole for not being okay with her wanting to turn off her location when out with her friends drinking? And this situation is a very interesting. I know some people have different views on location sharing and also like phone access. It can be like a tricky area to discuss, especially in a relationship and different personal preferences. I personally feel a lot more safe and secure knowing that my partner knows where I'm at, what I'm doing, who I'm with, just in case if something were to go wrong. He knows what I'm doing, he knows who I'm with, he knows everything. We live together, so if I weren't to come home, he would be the first to know and be the first to alert people that something might be wrong. So that is why we do it. Now, it gets to be a tricky situation when you're location sharing as a form of trust and as a form of what are you doing? This situation in particular is very tricky because there's already been a boundary of trust that's already been overstepped. I don't think that they're using location sharing in a healthy way because it shows the lack of trust. It's kind of hard to say who is the a-hole in this situation. I don't think that anyone is in the wrong here. I just think that it's a tricky situation. So in this situation, I think I would say that he is the a-hole because he's using it as a form of I don't trust you. And if you haven't moved past that first issue of cheating, then you're never going to be able to trust that person again, and they're always going to have to share their location with you. They're always going to have to do all of these precautions to make sure that you feel safe and secure. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You do need to establish a level of safety and security with your partner, but I just think that this relationship was doomed from the start. To be honest, I don't know. Let's just see what some comments say. Just leave now, bro. Write off 6 months and move on to the next. Reddit sometimes is just so quick to be like, just go. Just leave. It's fine. It's not like I have any emotional attachment to this person and really like this person. Okay, yeah, people are saying essentially you know exactly what's up. The whole excuse of location sharing is for safety purposes. Her going out is exactly one of those times where she should be sharing her location. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I just think that everyone kind of sucks here. This is a really hard situation. I don't know. I don't think I'm qualified to answer, to be honest. Let's just move on to the next story. Alright, our next story. Am I the a-hole? Boyfriend peed the bed and is mad at me for my response. My boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 23 female, just moved into a new house and bought a new mattress. Last night, I woke up to a wet feeling under my arm and hand. My boyfriend was already up and in the bathroom. When he came back, I asked him if he spilled something in the bed or knew why it was wet. He told me that he thinks he peed the bed. I asked him again and said, wait, are you serious? And he said, I think I peed in my dream and peed in real life. Sorry if you couldn't understand that. I said, I think I peed in my dream and peed in real life. That's what her boyfriend said. We are both half awake at this point, and I'm just surprised that he actually did wet the bed. I asked him to go grab stuff to clean it up. He told me that it was fine. It is in fact not fine, sir. I asked him what he meant by that, and he grabbed a towel, laid it down, and laid on the wet spot and got back into bed to go to sleep. I pulled the covers off him and told him that he needs to go grab stuff to clean it up because I don't want it to get stained, and it's a new mattress, and we don't have a mattress cover for it yet. He told me that it was fine and I'm overreacting. That statement naturally pissed me off, and I told him I'm not going to sleep in his piss and that's not fair to me. He told me he'd clean it in the morning and that it's not a big deal and doesn't warrant the reaction I have. That was not the solution that I wanted, so I took all the sheets off the bed and threw them at him, told him to go sleep on the couch. It was very infuriating hearing him tell me that I'm overreacting because I asked him to clean up his pee in the bed we both slept in. He then knocked on the door 10 minutes later asking for a new blanket because the one I gave him smelled like pee. So am I the a-hole for overreacting my boyfriend not cleaning up his pee in the bed the right way? Oh my god, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. No thank you. Absolutely not. Girl, you are absolutely not the a-hole in this situation. What in the actual, like, just to be a little less judgmental here, I know that accidents happen even when you're an adult, but this is just outrageous just to be like, oh yeah, I pissed in the bed and now we're just gonna sleep in it. I'm sorry, no we're not. And no we're not. Absolutely not. If my boyfriend decided to pull some BS like this, like, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Clean up your pee in the bed. That is ridiculous. I definitely think that homegirl's reaction was completely justified. She's not the a-hole at all. I would probably blow up like this if someone did this to me. Oh, and this is actually kind of weird because I also just got a new mattress that I'm paying for. I'm gonna be paying off for the next 2 years, and I would be so pissed. So pissed. No pun intended. If my boyfriend just pissed in my bed. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but that is disgusting. Most of the time in these stories I give the other party the benefit of the doubt, but there's just no benefit of the doubt when it comes to literal human pee. We have an update. It's a very long update. I'll address a few comments from the first post. First off, I wish it was fake, but I really did wake up yesterday to piss in the bed and ended up arguing with my boyfriend. My boyfriend and I have only lived together in small stints here and there before, but this is the first time we have had our own house just to us. No, he doesn't have drug or alcohol problems, diabetes, takes meds, and wasn't drinking that night. He just worked an overnight shift the previous night and was pretty tired. He's never done this before since we've been together, so that's why I didn't believe him at first. And we don't have a lot of money right now, so we got the mattress from Walmart for $300, for those of you bashing that detail. We both ended up cleaning up the pee after I threw the sheets and blankets at him, and I took the bed because our couch isn't big, and I really couldn't be bothered to move on the couch when I felt like I did nothing wrong. I was tired and wasn't thinking that part through entirely. Also, he's not a horrible abusive boyfriend, have a fetish, etc. like some of the comments have said, and I didn't throw him out of the house. He was truly half awake and was just not responsive the way he needed to be after pissing in our bed. Anyways, he got back from work today with flowers and my favorite ice cream. He told me he was thinking about what happened last night all day and he was so sorry. He apologized for dismissing me and that he was disrespectful. I told him that the only issue I had with the situation was him telling me that I'm overreacting, that wasn't fair to me, and expect me to be okay with sleeping in his pee. Let me be clear. I understand accidents happen, but to sit there and tell me my response to needing to clean it up ASAP is unwarranted is absolutely insane. I appreciated the gesture, and I did read what you guys said. He doesn't have any underlying trauma or alcoholic issues. He just peed the bed by accident. I wasn't shaming him for peeing in the bed. I was mad at his response. I'm trying to be both understanding that he was tired and wanted to go back to bed, but at the same time, this affects both of us. I just needed him to be responsible and acknowledge that what I said was valid and he needs to grow up. He did order a mattress cover that will be here tomorrow. So until that's on the mattress, I don't want him in the bed with me. Okay. I think making him sleep with those sheets and blankets did jolt him awake to realizing the gravity of the situation. I'm still a bit hurt from how he handled the situation selfishly and was inconsiderate, but he seems pretty remorseful, so we'll see how we feel later. That's it for now. Thank you guys for your advice. What in the world? Yeah, absolutely not the a-hole in this situation. He needs to learn to grow up and take accountability and clean up stuff like that. I personally just find it so funny that she's making him sleep on the couch until the mattress cover is there. On to our next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend he was a little insensitive for saying my reactions to my period pains was cute and funny when I had both my period and the flu? Oh my god, girl. Already from the title, immediately no. Immediately no. I, 20 female, am feeling very grateful to feel healthy again, as it was hell when I had my period and the flu at the same time. My boyfriend, 20 male, for the most part, was a dream. He took care of me hand and foot. He was also a little flirty as he frequently touched my butt and found any excuse to see me naked. Okay. At one moment, he was cuddling me. He was rubbing my belly and kissing my forehead. I was reacting to the period pains and he said I'm so cute and funny. I told him I'm in pain and he said I'm so cute with it. I asked him how he would feel if I kicked him in the balls, found his reaction cute. He gave a flirty answer. He said, if that's what I'm into, let's try it. Another point, when I was in bed reacting to period pains, he called me cute again and pinched my butt. As I'm feeling better, I feel conflicted. I feel appreciative that he took care of me, but I also told him he was a little insensitive for saying my reactions to my period pain was cute and funny. He pouted and told me that I was being unfair. He said he had resisted the urge to ask me for sex because I was feeling unwell. He said I was so cute, that was the most he's ever wanted me. That response only left me feeling more conflicted. I'm guessing he just really doesn't understand periods. Am I the a-hole? Oh my god, this story is kind of like, girl, is your boyfriend okay in the head? I mean, she's absolutely not the a-hole for expressing, hey, what you did when I was sick and on my period actually really bugged me. That is absolutely an okay thing to say and express to your partner that's supposed to, like, care for you, and he's just making your pain like cute and funny, and that's the most that he's ever wanted you. Absolutely not. Get on my freaking face, dude. If anyone has a fetish in this like episode, it's definitely this guy, because what the actual hell. Let's see what some comments said. I would not be happy if someone sexualized me while I was in agony and had the flu. I think you're right to be peeved off. Exactly, like, oof. Someone said, ew, ew, ew. I would have icked right out when he wanted to have sex because I was in pain from the flu on my period, and he said that's the most that he's ever wanted me. Not the a-hole. What other creep does he pull? Because I bet it's not nothing. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's like completely like a sex thing for him. It's just, ugh. That is absolutely not okay, and Bestie needs to find a new man. Definitely not the on that situation. Let's get on to our next story. Am I the a-hole for distancing myself from a friend after his wife called my wife fat? My wife is not fat. She has gained weight after she delivered our son, and she's still not fat or obese. She used to be skinny, and we both think that is actually a blessing that she has gained some weight. A month ago, my wife and I went to a dinner with a friend and his wife. We didn't see them in a long time, almost 2 years. He lives in a different country because of his job, and after they came back, we planned for dinner. We were enjoying our discussing about our old days, but his wife suddenly said to my wife that she has become fat, and they are going to stay in our city for a few months, and she will hit the gym and asked my wife to join her. My wife said that she doesn't want to hit the gym yet, but she said if my wife doesn't hit the gym, she will gain even more weight and possibly turn obese. I interrupted her and said that my wife is not fat, and if she gave birth and she was in my wife's place, which she understand, our little get together did not go as expected. I was offended and I didn't talk to him since last month, and I decided to distance myself from him and his wife. He contacted me and asked if I took offense to how things went last time. I didn't reply back to him yet, but I want to maintain distance between us, possibly even cut him and his wife off forever. This story is so incredibly hurtful. Just as someone who has gone through life changes and has gained weight, it can be a really troubling thing when someone brings that up and is like, oh, you've gained weight, maybe you should do something about that. I would be incredibly hurt, incredibly mortified, and probably never speak to those people again. So I absolutely do not think that OP is the a-hole here if he chooses not to maintain a friendship with these people. At the end of the day, it just kind of shows that they're pretty shallow people to bring up the fact that she's gained weight after having a baby, which almost every woman does after having a baby. Why not talk about the baby? That is just what doesn't sit right with me, is there are so many more interesting things to talk about rather than my body. Let's talk about those things. Why are we bringing that up? So absolutely not the a-hole in this situation, and I don't blame you if you never talk to them again. Alright guys, this is the look. If you cannot tell, I'm really feeling the fall vibes, even though it's literally 90 degrees out. Yeah, I just cannot wait for pumpkin spice lattes, Halloween, decorating for fall, which I plan to do and do videos on, so make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned for those videos. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!